Okay. All right, looks like that's going to work. So the next thing I need to do is load this up, because we do have a topic tonight while we wait. Okay, let's see. All right. So that's fine. Got that running. Everything seems okay there. This is fine. Hey, what's going on, man? Hey, let's check that. Oh, I do have that up and running. Good. And let me post this. Bams. There's our first poll up and running. And let me make sure that this is right before I do this. Because we're going to talk about something as we start. There's a problem that seems to be rampant, and it really needs to stop. What am I talking about? I'm talking about specifically preview images that lie. I think this is an issue that really needs addressing. See, we shop mostly online now. That's just the truth of it. And even if we don't, oftentimes what we are doing, where we're getting our information, is online. McFarlane posts a picture, you look at it, you see pins, you know what you're in for, you go get the pins. You see the cape, you know whether or not it's going to be wireframe, yada yada. This is information that we are receiving with the promotional images. If that promotional image is highly doctored, I feel like it's misrepresentative of the thing that you are going to buy. If also it is highly doctored or fake in some way, it also lies about the product, making it kind of false advertisement. There is something coming that I am crossing my fingers about. The Savage Land pack. Rogue, Shauna, this. And part of it is a lie. What am I talking about? I'm talking about him. Him right here. Like here. Like here. They render him as pinless. They render him as a pinless figure. Right here. And the thing is, you know that this figure had to have been available mostly for images. Like, there he is right here, right? And you see that? Pins. Pins. Like, maybe this isn't a big deal to some people. And I get that this is a computer image. I get that it's a 3D model. It's not actually the figure. But if we are going to do this, even if they're rendering the 3D model, even if that's what that is, they should not have filled this in. Now, for me, this is not a big deal. If I get a chance to get this, I'm still going to get it. These pins do not bother me. They do not. But I think that it's important to point out that as we buy things online, as it becomes more and more and more common for us to do so, this lying that they do, where they showcase the idea that a figure is pinless, or a figure is bigger than it is, or that it has a balance that it doesn't, or that there's a paint job that actually is not there, or a color scheme that they're not actually going to go with. Like with the Red Sonja, look at what happened there. And even still, there are people that are mad about the Epic Hacks Red Sonja, because when she did come out, people are still saying she's not what we were promised. Well, that's because we are living in a world now where we are buying online almost exclusively. And for some of these toy lines, 100% exclusively, which means the images are the only things we have to go on as to whether or not this product is what it says it is and is something we want. If those images lie to you, you don't know what you're buying. You buy something you don't actually want. Some people, pinless means a lot. It's a deal breaker. It is what it is. It's what they want. You put pins in it, they buy it, they get pins when the images showed there weren't. That's it. They're mad about that. And I don't think that they're wrong about that, because it does feel like you're being lied to. Minor thing, but I did want to start the stream. I did want to talk about it because I'm noticing that this is kind of hitting a lot now. Like, it's a very common thing now to have this as a common problem, like images that lie to you. So, let me go into the chat and get things started here today. Hey, what's going on, man? Hey, how you doing? And yeah, like digital renders. The thing is, even if it is a digital render, the thing that is irritating about it is that even in the digital render, they could render pins. Like, they chose, that is a choice they made. They said, hey, I got an idea. What if we showcase this like this without the sculpt broken up? They're making that physical choice. If they're in there designing the model, then they know they purposely went out of their way to make that choice, and they're being they're being disingenuous. They are lying in their previews. Yeah. Oh, you did notice that? I thought I was the only one who noticed he had pins in the person. Yeah. I don't think that doesn't bother me. But I do think it's a problem that they really need to start addressing. I don't think that's okay anymore. Accessories that it doesn't have. Yeah, and that's a true thing too. Sometimes you'll see these where they'll put the pictures and they'll showcase accessories, and then somewhere in the text it'll be like, he doesn't actually have these items. But then, like, don't show him with those items. If your promotional picture should sell the thing that you've got, but it should sell what we're about to buy. And especially nowadays with the condition that we're in, they really shouldn't do that, because it just feels very disingenuous. I think that's a very, very poor. And sooner or later, it's going to catch up, and people are going to start not trusting what it is that's being released. It's a domino effect. It will happen. I think that this is a really, really bad move to continually do this over and over and over again, where the images are basically lies. Let's see. You know what that reminds me? The X-Men 97 Sentinel in the digital renders looked pinless, but however, in person, they are pinned. I didn't know that. And like with me, like I said, this is not necessarily a deal breaker for me, but one could argue there's no reason for it not to be pinless. Like, you are literally building this thing from the ground up, made to order. You have already moved mainly your entire line pinless. Why release a brand new Sentinel stuck in the past? Like, that's a weird thing too. It's not going to stop me. I still want it. But, like, it is wild to me. So let's see. We are at 8 minutes. We are at 2 votes. We are at... we currently have 2 viewers because we got in here late tonight. And so that's fine. So we're just going to call it. That's fine. We start with Marvel Legends. Let's see where we go from there. Here we go. Okay, how about bam. I think that happened with the Lightning Collection with the paint job on helmets. Yeah, I think it did, yes. There were a couple of the Rangers where in the renders they looked one way and then people bought them and it wasn't quite what they thought it was going to be. What are your thoughts on the Gambit body from the Rogue and Gambit 97 2-pack? Okay. Interesting. You have just brought something to my attention. Let's see here. Let me see it. Oh! Okay. Okay, I did not, I honestly did not know. I will admit to being a little behind on the releases. There's been so much that came out in rapid succession that I did miss certain things. I've been seeing things constantly that make me go, oh, that too? Oh, that too? And it's like, it's kind of exciting. It's kind of cool. So a couple things here. This is interesting. She is coming with a soft goods, which is not something I expected almost ever, which is kind of cool. She herself is pretty solid. You don't not that they could have done too much to mess her up, but I am going to call out the fact that they are still using the lower female torso for her. I'm starting to feel like that is unacceptable. It is about time to start moving the rest of the females into the full lower torso articulation. We have the double up at the top here now, the double elbow. We have the double knees. We have the neck joint and everything that's been working. Like all this, like the upper movement and everything. But like it's time. The other girls that are coming out in the line that have the lower articulation, it's noticeable. It's very, very noticeable that they move better and arguably in some cases look better significantly because of that lower ab movement. I think we need that in our figures now at this point, especially when I'm looking at like her basketball poses and whatnot, and because she has no lower ab crunch, like it just looks like she's constantly sticking her butt out to basketball. Now, the question that you are specifically asking though is about him. Wow. Okay. Wow. Oh my gosh. So I'm looking at it right now, and I did not expect that. Like, he needed, if you were going to do this guy, he needed the lower ball socket movement. Like the Wolverine that they just did. They just did that Wolverine for the Gamerverse, and he has the lower ball joint, so he moves around. Instead of that weird, like, thing that comes, like, what is that? Like, why give him that? That is weird. Because here's the thing. I just saw a comment here. 97 Dad Bod Gambit. The problem isn't even that. It makes him look bad. It almost makes him look like he has the dad bod. He really doesn't. I mean, you could see he has abs. You could see he has like that real low area that like you work out down at the hips and whatnot. Like his lower abdomen is really cut and everything. Like, he's, for what it's worth, he's strong looking. But like that cut on bare naked skin looks real bad. Like really, really bad. Wow. That's not good. In fact, that is awful. Yeah, I think on a personal note, I would be skipping that gambit. Holy crap, that's bad. Like, that is, I wouldn't buy it. That's what I'm going to tell you. That was a poor decision. They should have known that. If you would have given him something on top, like if he would have had a shirt too, maybe you could have gotten past it. And I get that the Rogue is good, but like the Gambit's just bad. It did not do him any favors. And I think the cut is too high. It's like all the way up here. Like, you could have broke that up and had it smaller down on the waist or something. It's just way too much, man. The body is reused from a starting lineup basketball figure and meant to have a shirt on, hence the awful ab joints. I don't understand why they reused the basketball figure instead of just using... actually, you're right. They already have a naked frame male body that works really well and is already proven. Why would you jump? And for that matter, if it is proven that that's from another line, a line with basketball figures, and they were able to pull resources from that line, which is usually not okay. Even in Hasbro, even at Mattel and things like that, there's like weird licensing and restrictions and things like that where like oftentimes if one group, even if it's still in-house, is working on a figure, like you can't just take their gorilla body or whatever and then come over here and make Grodd. You're not allowed to do that. There's something in the paperwork that makes it so like you can't cross the lines like that, which is why oftentimes you see things like certain things will be happening over here at the Marvel Legends line, and it will not bleed over into Star Wars. But then at the same time, something will happen in the Star Wars line, and it does not bleed over. And there's very much parts and interchangeable possibilities that they're not doing for whatever reason. Or G.I. Joe, as we've made that argument multiple times. But then, for some reason, they go over and they steal something from another line, something that very blatantly did not need to be moved over, because it certainly didn't do any, like... That's weird. Why did they do that? I just watched the interviews. Dwight said that they just took what was lying around and cobbled it together. Not even a doubt the figure came out. Just cobbled it together. Whoever your kit bash was, whoever ran your kit bash concept, reprimand that person. And reprimand the person who was supposed to quality check everything that was coming out your door. Because you, with a simple head swap and lower body swap, You could have just taken what was already proven, and instead you decided to go with... It's so weird. Maybe it's because they didn't think the body, maybe they didn't think that would sell as Gambit, because Gambit is supposed to be like leaner muscle, not like super, super jacked muscle. I don't know. It's weird. That does not make sense to me. We have a winner, and he won by a landslide. Oh, awesome. Yes, I always look forward to opening up the thing. So, let's go ahead and hop on that. Let's open the thing. So, the thing. Guys, I loved this movie. I just put it out there. I loved it. I'm going to go see it again. I've heard a couple complaints. Those complaints do not concern me. I had a really good time with this movie. I had a really good time with Ben. Ben is my favorite member of the Fantastic Four. He always has been. That was not intentional. Guys, this is going to be a smaller thing. That's going to be interesting. In fact, one could argue... Sorry, Susie. I need Ben. Because we are going to check that, actually. I was wondering, when they announced these, if they would simply just take this, take the upper body, put it on there. I was really wondering that. We know that this is something they do a lot of reuse and everything. Then I seen him and noticed that he was going to be smaller, a little more compact, which is kind of wild when I look at this figure and I think about how big he was in the movie, because compared to the human people, he's big in that movie. Like, he's still a big, big dude. And here, he honestly kind of looks small by comparison to what I'm seeing. But maybe once I put him with the other Fantastic Four members, it won't look like that. Maybe the scale kind of works out after you got them all together and everything. Not really too much to say. I've talked about Ben multiple times on this channel. There are multiple times that we have brought him up, and there are multiple times we've talked about the Fantastic Four. It is one of my favorite superhero teams of all time. Ben is my favorite character from that team. I love the family concept of that team and how it works. And let's open him. All right. First off, he has 2 expression hands. And just to give an idea here, he is way smaller than the Thing. Like the one that we're used to. Way smaller. Okay? And, for what it's worth, here he is. Now, we are dealing with single elbow, so we don't got the double, which we don't have the double in the other things either that we have ever gotten, so I don't know that that's too big of a deal. And for what it's worth, the bicep and everything, it doesn't seem like it gets in the way too much, especially for him being such a big guy and everything. He has his watch here, which is kind of cheap in all honesty. It could have been better. It's really just a silver. There's no paint or design to it at all. It's just there. There's a lot of jutting stuff that's coming out of him, but his face, It's solid. That looks like the thing that I saw in the movie. I'm willing to buy that. I think he looks good. I think it would have been nice to have had another head. Maybe a bearded head? Maybe an expression head of some sort? However, one could also argue that we know this isn't complete. You get what I'm saying? Like, we have the thing here, but we know that he wore a full suit in the Fantastic Four movie, so maybe there's another one of him on the way, and we'll get a couple other heads with that one. Maybe we'll get a beard one and an expression one, and then we'll have a couple of heads to swap around here and there. For what it's worth, you're not going to look up too much with Ben. That's about it. That's about it for Broody Ben. We're not doing too bad on his range of motion. I mean, nothing's really stopping him here. This is about what you're going to get out of his legs. He cannot kick his own butt. He's too strong. His feet have decent enough swivel. I'm not seeing anything that I don't like here. He is a smaller Ben. He's the smallest one that I have on my shelf, without a doubt. This is pretty nice, the way it comes out and everything. Like it comes out, it jets out, which is actually pretty cool. There's no wash on him or anything that I can really, well, okay. Arguably, there might be a very minor wash. I don't think it's coming through on the camera, but it's like darker here and in a little bit like that, but nothing that really stands out enough to make it matter too much, but it's done enough. I like the 4 here. I like the 4 here. That's decent little paint apps that they've went out of their way to put all over the pants and everything. And this is also the first bin that I have on the shelf that wears pants. Like full-on pants. So, let's see real quick. This is classic. Look, he's smaller. He is smaller. But not by so much. I mean, yeah, he can literally hide behind the other bin. But, like, you see what I'm saying? I think in comparison to MCU figures, he'll be fine. One could argue maybe he should have been a bit bigger, but he's not bad. There's a lot of detail here. Even one minor detail that I kind of like to point out here, even on the inside here, there's little rock formation. Like, it's hard to see on my camera right now, but there's little bitty rock formation kind of design even in there. T-poses and everything. I don't think I'm going to have a problem with him. I do like him. I think he's solid. I think he'll go on the shelf. I think I'll be able to do a lot of like shots with him and whatnot. I like him, but I've been looking forward to this for a while. This Fantastic Four movie has been first and foremost like one of the movies that I've looked forward to since the day they announced it. Like, and I was not disappointed. I thought it was very, very good. I had a great time at that movie, for what it's worth. Let's see. Let's get another one up here. Okay, lines. We have that's still up and running. Let's also do, we could also do or. There. That's what we'll run with next. So all those are up, and let's hit some of these and see what we're doing here. Okay, in the same interview, they said it's just a silly for fun thing. If people don't like it, they'll go back to the drawing board and do something else. Well, go do something else. I don't know how I feel about them releasing a figure that then they basically come right out and say, we didn't take this seriously. Like, that almost bothers me in its own way, if you want the truth of it. Like, we didn't take this seriously. It's just a little thing that we were doing. Like, that's kind of wild to me. Let's see. Yes. Okay, we are currently hanging out with... We have 4... It says I have 4 current viewers, and we are currently sitting at 2 votes. We are moving between Super 7 and Marvel Legends currently. I do have the rest of the Fantastic Four set. I also got 1 of the Gamerverse packs. And for Super 7, I got 2 pretty cool figures that came in. The Super 7 I have not opened in a long time on this show. I think the last time we discussed Super 7, it was... I'm trying to remember. It may have been the Turtles. That may have been the last time we covered an actual Super 7. I think, maybe. I think it sounds right. My frustration is that there are characters who haven't gotten dedicated figures like Beast and Bastion. You know what? Yes. I thought for sure when they were announcing this next wave, Beast was going to be a part of it. I thought for sure this was a chance to kind of go back to the drawing board and kind of re-release the Beast that we had, but modify him enough so that he fits the cartoon scale. I don't really understand why we didn't do that. Or maybe Beast is getting a little more attention. Maybe he's actually being sculpted from the ground up to fit the animated style, which I'm going to tell you right now, that's going to make some people mad. I've watched this over and over and over again. I've seen this many times now, where for some reason, people will buy Gambit or Cyclops or somebody of that nature. And then they will come out on their channel and they will review it. And they will say, with all sincerity, yeah, I don't really like this one. I just feel like the last one was a lot better with the darker colors and the blah, blah, blah. Looked a lot more like he came off the comic book. And I always think to myself, you bought an X-Men 97 figure. A figure meant to represent X-Men 97. A figure from an animated series for an animated series made to look like the animated series. What is it that was going through your head that made you think it was supposed to be anything aside from an animated series figure? Like, what happened that did not process in your brainium? Like, I don't get it. I see that all the time. I see it from channel to channel to channel to channel to channel all the time, and I cannot figure out for the life of me what is going on with that. Like, why that is happening. If I buy a Wolverine figure and it's supposed to be the Tiger Stripe Wolverine, and then I get home and I open it and I go, yeah, I don't really care for this one. I like the black and gray one. Why did I buy it? Like, it just makes no sense to me. Like, if you were to buy a Jack Kirby Spider-Man and then get it home and open it and then go, with all sincerity, yeah, I don't really like this figure. I was hoping it would be a John Romita Jr. figure. Then don't buy the one specifically designed to be just, what are you doing? Like, I just don't understand how that happens. Like, I really can't figure it out. In one of the interviews, they said that the Wave 4 of X-Men 97 will have characters from the Season 2 and also some from Season 1. Interesting. So that means we've got a Season 2 of X-Men 97 coming very soon that we'll be watching, and these are due to come out sometime around then. I haven't been paying attention to my streaming services, so if that's a thing, if like they're about to release the Season 2 and I didn't realize that, like, because we only watched Season 1, right? There's only... Yeah, I thought so, anyway. Right? I mean, I've seen everything that's released, but I thought that was only Season 1. I don't know. It is late. I've already done an awful lot. For some reason, my mind is not processing. As you've noticed, I keep saying because I'm, like, not keeping up with myself right now. Pretty tired. Season 2 should release next year. That's fantastic news because I really enjoyed that. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing what else they'll do with it moving forward. Fantastic. This is wild. We now have 3 votes. Marvel Legends, Super 7, and NECA. We are still at a 3-way tie. We have 4 current viewers, 3 current votes. I could just call it and open one from every line. Which with NECA, that's very simple. There's one figure. I have one NECA figure. One. That's it. That's all we have left. We've already opened Freddy. We've already opened Michael Myers. We already opened Elvira. We already opened Jason. I'm trying to remember if we opened anything else from NECA. Yeah, there's only one figure left that I currently have that's sitting waiting to be opened from NECA. One that I like. But we'll see. We'll see how they do. Because I've also had a couple of things, as I've opened NECA, I've kind of found myself not being the biggest fan moving forward in a lot of their stuff recently. It's just me, though. There's things about NECA that I haven't been enjoying. Let's see. Also, Dwight said there has been discussion in regards to doing the Galactus from First Steps. I don't hate that. However, an MCU Galactus, how will that go over? Like, if we're being honest about it, the MCU figures do not sell as well as the comic book figures. We have yet to get an actual comic book Galactus. I know people talk about the HasLab. Look, people got all uppity about the Sentinel that's coming out. The Sentinel is a 97 or early 90s Sentinel. It looks like it did in the comic book. It looks like it did in the animated series. That's what Sentinel we have in the made-to-order. And I think that's right, by the way. I think that's good. I think that's proper. Here's why. Say a bunch of people went and funded the crowdfund, and they got a big, giant Sentinel. They did a HasLab, and they got a Sentinel. They paid, and they supported the HasLab. They have a Sentinel. Now, a couple years later, all of a sudden, a made-to-order Sentinel comes out and it's the HasLab Sentinel, wouldn't you feel like you got screwed? Like you could have just waited, bought it at a cheaper rate. Sometimes, some things that are collector's items need to remain collector's items and hold that. They need to stay collector's items. They need to feel collector. In order to do that, it makes a lot of sense that we don't diminish it. There's a HasLab Sentinel. It looks very cool. It looks Marvel Legends. It's new scale, real world comic book. It's really cool. The next step is to release a Sentinel again, but tone it down. It's going to be a little cheaper. It's going to be made to order. It's still going to be really cool. It's going to be smaller, but it's going to be more simple because it's going to be based on a television series. Here you go. There it is. You got it. You got the 97 Sentinel. Now, with Galactus, you don't want them to just release the Galactus again. People paid for that. People bought into that. People put their money down. It's theirs, and they deserve it. They crowdfunded it. They made it happen. They own it. They have it on their shelf. That's theirs. We should not just re-release that. We shouldn't bring the Galactus and bring him back, the crowdfund Galactus, and say, here, everybody, now it's made to order. There's $150. Buy it. That would be inappropriate. So you got to find a middle ground. Do you release a comic book version? An animated series kind of looking version? The same kind of thing, but toned down a little smoother? Or do you release an MCU Galactus? Personally, I would release a comic book Galactus. I would release a comic book Galactus, and I would base it kind of on the Toy Biz version. That's what I would do. I would, of course, make it bigger, a little grander, but I would release that, basically. And the reason I do that is because I would have a fear that the release of a MCU Galactus, even though Galactus is a big deal, and even though it more than likely will fund, and even though it more than likely will get out there, if I'm a business, I'm looking to make money. That's the truth of it. It's our hobby. It's their business. They want to make money. They want to get the most possible units made for the best possible profit line. You're going to do that with comic book Galactus. You're probably not going to do that with MCU Galactus. And another thing, real quick. If they put a Galactus made to order, they need to put it out. And this is going to sound bad. Don't give people too long to think about it. Give them 2 weeks. Let them figure it out. Hey, you're either going to get paid this day or this day. You either just got paid, you're getting paid next week, whatever. Here's your chance. Here it is. And by the way, we, of course, won't charge you for a year in, yada, yada, put your money in. And the reason I say that is because every single one of these made-to-orders, every single one of these crowdfunds, every single one of these big figures, every single one of these like events always has one major problem. The hype always, without exception, always scales negative over time because you give people time to nitpick. Oh, his leg is weird. Oh, he doesn't have the dual joint that I want. Oh, his fingers, blah, 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 aren't articulated. Oh, and then the longer you look at the images, the more you talk yourself out of it, yada, yada. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to talk yourself out of a toy every now and then. You need to save your money just as much as you want to spend it. But I do think that the longer we sit on these things, the longer they sit out, the longer that people nitpick every detail. Oh, the face isn't quite right. It kind of looks like this guy, yada, yada. Before you know it, you're sitting there excited about your new thing, only to then kind of get drug into all this other stuff that's going on, and then you start wondering if you even want it at all. So if they release a Galactus like that, I feel like they need to release it. It needs to be comic book, and they need to immediately move past it. Like, put it out, give people the 2 or 3 weeks, let them buy it, move on, don't talk about it. Because we're already seeing it with, like, the Sentinel. Like, oh, and by the way, make sure the pictures are realistic. That's another thing, too. The pictures need to be realistic because we just got done talking about this. The Sentinel that they released has pins, but he didn't in the images, which is false advertisement. As far as I am concerned, we buy things nowadays because of the images, especially a made-to-order. And you knew that you were going to produce the Sentinel with pins. You knew it. Which means you went out of your way while crafting the 3D model, the render. You knew there were going to be pins. And it would not have taken any designer, any 3D designer, could have easily put a pin where it belonged. You chose not to do that. You chose not to do it because pinless figures get the attention of people. That's a thing right now. People really love pinless tech. So they see it, they say it's pinless, they rush to it, they get it. Or they buy something and they figure out afterwards they were lied to and they're pins. While pins don't bug me, I buy the McFarlane figures. I've never once complained about pins. You've never heard me on this channel go, oh, it's got pins. Like, I've never looked at this guy and then got down to the legs and been like, yeah, that kind of ruins it for me. It's not as big a deal. Do I prefer pinless? Yes, pinless I would have preferred. Do I cry about it? It really does not bother me. It does not bother me. I come from a time when toys were way simpler and cheaper looking and almost never had proper face sculpts. So, like, if you give me something that's good, I'm normally just happy with it. But, that being said, I'm not everybody. These images have to start reflecting what we are actually buying. They have to. It's inappropriate to keep doing what they're doing. Okay, let's see. Thoughts on SDCC and anything that caught your eye? Just got here, not sure if you said anything about it. So with SDCC, I've been seeing a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff that's very cool, a lot of stuff that's coming out, a lot of stuff that was exclusive, a lot of stuff that I could not get, is what it is. But I got hit hard very recently. We've talked about this on the channel. I'm very much a regular guy. I have a regular job. I do regular stuff. I make regular money. And we are right at the point where I'm putting my kid into school. That's registration fees, and that's books, and that's everything else, and that's getting everything together, and that's doing all the medical visits, and yada, yada, yada. And then as I'm doing that, the sewer line in my house popped under the concrete. And that hit me hard and unexpected. And I've really been dealing with that for like the last 3 weeks. And it is going to drain my account hard. So, to save myself, I've just been kind of taking SDCC in through, like, I'm scrolling down, Twitter or whatever, X, and like I'll see something, I'll be like, oh, that's cool. And that's pretty much the level of my paying attention. I said to myself, Bill, you got to watch out. You got to watch what you're doing. Take care of yourself. Don't get yourself in trouble. Here's your money. this is what you have. This is all you have. What do you want? And being me, I got the looking, and I said, okay. If I can get one item, what is it? And can I make it happen? Well, I got the looking. There's one item. It's about $100. It's the Savage Pack. I want the Savage Land Pack. Rogue, Shauna, Sauron, that's what I want. Like, that is beautiful to me. Like, that is absolutely beautiful. That gives me barbarian body sculpts that I can use for 100 different images. It gives me stuff that I can take pictures outside. It gives me stuff that, like, first off, that's my favorite thing. I love the barbarian thing and everything. So that's where I make my home. It's the thing I like the most. That spoke to me. I was like, okay, I can pick one thing. That's it. Now, my barbarian lines that were there, they didn't have anything that, like, hey, you better jump on this right now. They have stuff that's coming real soon. Necron is coming real soon. Fire and Ice Necron, and the throne is confirmed, baby. Throne, another chair. That I want. That's fantastic. Another Conan is on the way. You know I want another Conan. You know it. John Carter of Mars. There's a John Carter of Mars figure. I keep telling people, and I've even had people argue with me that I'm wrong, that it's past. I keep telling people, you, right now, us, this minute, we are in the golden age of adult collecting. It's right now. It's now. Did you like heavy metal? There's heavy metal figures. Red Sonja? It's Red Sonja figures. You like Motu? It's Motu figures. You like DC? It's DC figures. Marvel? Marvel figures. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? There's way more than enough. There's a new line of Star Trek about to hit, and they look good. They look on par with the rest of the action figure community. Did you like Fire and Ice? There are Fire and Ice figures. There are Conan the Barbarian figures. I just got King Cole. He just arrived today. Go 10 years back and tell Bill he's going to get Fire and Ice figures. He'd probably laugh in your face. It wasn't a thing. It wasn't going to be a thing. McFarlane came out, and think what you will about his line or him. He gave us Justice Society figures. Good ones. I don't care. Make your arguments. Hate him if you want. Good ones. We're here. It's now. And this SDCC was pumping out. I don't even know everything. I'm still having people tell me stuff. Did you see this? Did you see this? And I'm still discovering things. We discovered something at the start of the stream that I didn't know was a thing yet. And I made fun of it already. Like, this one has been fantastic. So many good things. Oh, and to skip all the way down to your comment, you're damn right I saw the Rush figure. Rush dog. Holy crap. Mega Man is one of those things. Yes, absolutely I'm interested. Personally, I'd much prefer a comic or animated Galactus from Silver Surfer or Fantastic Four animated series from the 90s. And that's kind of what I'm getting at. Yes, I think that most people are where you are. They would buy that in a heartbeat. They would wonder, maybe they would say, he's really cool, MCU Galactus. But would they jump on it? Give him a $170 price tag? He's going to be MCU. You don't have a lot of MCU on your shelf if you collect the comic versions. That's a tough buy. Are you going to get the 90s TMNT movie Turtles from NECA? Are they going to put out individual Ultimate figures? They are going to put out Ultimate figures individually with a bunch of accessories. Raphael comes with the trench coat. I saw that they were about to do that. That may be my opportunity to upgrade. Because right now, I have a video that's it's still getting traction today. People are still mad about it today. I got a guy 2 days ago. He posted a comment. I can't believe this video is still getting comments. This video got a comment that said, yeah, I got mine for $140 and they look better than this. He was like, I have the actual toys. I get it. And I'm still having people go, these are definitely knockoffs. You can easily tell. The video, I explain in the first 5 minutes of that video, I know they're fake. I bought them. I knew they were fake when I bought them. I considered sending them back because I knew I was fake. I was fake. They were fake. Then I said to myself, it might make a good video, though, to see if they're worth anything. Like, are they good figures, even if they're fake? I don't know. Let's see. And then I did that video, and I'm still getting comments where people go, those aren't real. They're so obviously fake. And I'm like, I know that they're fake. I know. You've missed the entire point of the video. I'm sorry that you couldn't watch the whole video. But mine, as you can see there, they're the fake NECA turtles. And they're the movie turtles. And for what they need to do, sit on the shelf and look good, they have actually accomplished that. But I would like the officials on my shelf. I would really like them. So yes, I think as they release individuals, I think that might be my shot. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Here's hoping you get to buy what you've been interested in getting in the foreseeable future, I mean. But hopefully I can get this. It's 2 days away. It's the only thing I'm getting, but we'll see. By the way, the next Maximum figure has been teased. There was a dupe figure placed in between Maximum Hulk and Maximum Spider-Man, so many think it's possibly going to be Maximum Deadpool or Thor. If it is Maximum Deadpool, fantastic. I can skip it. I'm not a Deadpool fan. It doesn't really do anything for me. But that would be good, because they could do justice to that figure. They could do absolutely bang up job with it. It could be really cool. A lot of people could get it. I think a lot of people would get it, and I think it would be good for the line. I'm being serious about that. I think it would be good for the line to have a Deadpool. Deadpool's fame, he's very popular. People like him, and they could do a lot with that. And I could not buy it. Save money, move on, wait, save for the next one. If it's Thor, I don't have a Thor. Just like I didn't have a Hulk, which made that Maximum Hulk very, very appealing to me. If they do a Maximum Thor and he looks like a more classic Thor, that would probably end up getting me. I got the 5-pack with Spirit Splinter now. I need these individual ones. Just NECA keeps taking my money. Is there a reason you need the individual ones when you just got the 5-pack? Because the 5-pack look like solid turtles. But then again, you collect on a different level than I do when it comes to turtles. I've noticed that. That's where you are making your home. So it'd be a different argument for you than it would for me. Because, like, I get the 4. I love them. I put them on the shelf. I'm done. Like, I just need the one set. But I think that's very different for you. The boxes look great. Welcome to the collecting circles. So, Here we go. NECA 1, let's do it. Megan. Yes. I think Megan literally is a new age classic. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding in the least. I saw Megan 1, it blew me away. I'm not even close to kidding. Overnight, I left the theater day one and said to everybody that would listen, it's an instant classic. It's an instant classic. Megan is not going anywhere. If this movie doesn't make it, I will be stupefied. I will be absolutely shocked. There's no way she's not the next icon. I leave. I get my stuff. I go and see it again. Yeah, that's right. I've seen it twice. Then I bought the unrated version and I watched it because I was like, what's unrated about it? And I watched it. I've watched Megan. I like Megan. My wife likes Megan. My kid likes Megan. Then we hear about Megan 2. And we're like, oh man. Sign me up. And I knew instantly where we were going. We were playing Terminator. We started as a horror movie. That's the first Terminator is considered a horror movie. It's a horror movie. But in Megan universe, it's a horror movie with a comedic edge. It's fantastic. Now we go Terminator 2. Now we need to bring her back. The bad guy needs to come back, but she needs to have a reason to be a good guy, and there has to be another robot to fight. This time, however, unlike Terminator 2, comedic edge. Sign me up. Here's the money. Take it. There's the money. Take it. Let me in. Let me into this theater right now. I went, me, my wife, my kid, we go, we watch it, we love it. Absolutely love it. That's 2 movies in a row for her that have just been, for me, I don't care how you feel about it. You can hate a movie or love a movie, that's fine. If a movie makes me happy, if when the movie is over, I have a feeling for that movie, then I don't need anything about what you feel about it. You can hate the movie, love the movie, whatever. It talked to me. I loved it. I loved part 1. I loved part 2. I'm looking forward to buying the physical one, the second Megan unrated, because I'm looking forward to seeing what that's like too, like what they take out of it, what blood was taken out, and whatnot. Because there's really not that much difference in unrated Megan and rated Megan, except for like some blood and a couple things here and there. It's not like a big deal. It doesn't blow your mind. It doesn't change the movie for the better or the worse. You could watch either version. You'll be fine. So I'm very much looking forward to owning Megan 2. So I'm at a Walmart. And I'm walking around and we're looking at things and we're just kind of wasting time. We had to do something else. I can't exactly remember. We had to burn some time. So we're there. When all of a sudden my kid says, oh, look, they got Megan. She goes, do you have Megan? And I'm like, no, I don't have Megan. I was like, I don't have Megan, but at the same time, I have the 3 main slashers that I love, and they're on my shelf already. So I have Michael, I have Jason, I have Freddy. They're on the movie shelf. I'm more than happy with that. I really don't buy a lot of NECA. And she goes, okay. And then she goes, it's on sale. Like, let me see that. So I get it. It does have that tag down there. It says that it's on clearance. But it still says like $40. And I'm like, what's the clearance price? So I have to know. So I take this over. And I ask, can you scan that? Can you tell me what this costs? Beep! $10. Yep. What was I going to do? At that price, look, I'd be almost stupid. I love Megan. She's right here. She looks fantastic as a figure. I mean, most all of these figures from NECA have looked utterly fantastic. The problems I have with NECA and their horror line is that the accessories seem to be brittle. Like, and I haven't even done anything hardcore. My Jason, I took my Jason and his machete broke the first time I put it in his hand. Like, and they seem kind of stiff to me. Like, there's some problems I've had with NECA figures, which is weird because I've also bought other NECA figures that don't feel like that. So I almost wonder if it's just my luck of the draw with some of the horror figures. I bought the Ultimate Freddy. I bought the Freddy Krueger from Part 2. Because I wanted the fire effect and because I thought that he looked the best of the ones that I had that were currently sitting in front of me. And I just wanted a Freddy. I got him home. I tested the T-pose with his legs. This is it. I said, how far out do you go? His crotch popped. Psh! That's simple. Like, it didn't even do anything. Like, I didn't force it. I didn't play hard with it or anything like that. I was like, let's see. He T-poses. That's good. How much range do we get in the legs? Pop! There went the crotch. It was done. That easy. Like, I did nothing that I wouldn't have done with any other figure, and he couldn't survive it. And I've had luck like that with NECA when it comes to the horror line. I put a machete in Jason's hand. It broke instantly. I mean, it was incredibly brittle. I put a fire effect on one of the machetes. It broke. And I was like, what is happening? I'm not even trying. Like, I'm not pushing hard or like, I mean, look, to say I don't know how to take care of my action figures, I still have action figures from my childhood. I have original G.I. Joes that still have the original band inside that can still stand up. And my NECA figures are breaking out of the box. That bothered me. And it really put me off of NECA pretty hard. Like, I started pulling back from NECA. I had all these things I wanted. I was like, I want the Bride. I want Frankenstein. I think that'd be real cool for the shelf. I want Creature from the Black Lagoon. I want a Bela Lugosi. And then I bought the main slashers that I wanted, and I found a problem with all three of them. The best NECA that I have bought so far has been Elvira. Except for the fact that she does not stand up well because her ankles are kind of weak, which kind of makes her fall forward or fall back, and her head, because of her hair, is heavy. So she's like top heavy, but not top heavy because of these, top heavy because of this, and she falls all over the place. So I have her on a stand, like a doll stand that forces her to stand up. I shouldn't need to baby my NECA figures like that. But it seems that I have to. And that brought me to why, even though I absolutely love this, I've seen it multiple times and never bought it. But at $10, let's take a chance. $10 puts another NECA on the shelf from one of my favorite recent characters that there is. Let's see her. Okay, let's see. So here she is at the basic design. That's her. And for what it's worth, she looks real good, actually. Single jointed elbow. I wish that was 2, but that's okay. I don't think it's going to be too big of a deal, really. You're not exactly going to pull dance moves with her, though. This, I wish, was a cloth, but at the same time, I understand why it's not, because I also saw the other version of her that had, like, more cloth, and it doesn't look as good as this one. So there's something to be said about the fact that she's plastic, and this is what it is. Is it restrictive? Not necessarily. It's not going to cause me any problems. That's fine. It's a little restrictive here and there, but will she be able to, like, sit? Can I? Yeah, I'll be able to, like, sit her down. Maybe not. Maybe that is in the way. I might be able to fix it. I think that I can cut this a little bit, like put a little split right there and a little extra split right there, and then be able to pull this back to get effects, like if I want her to sit, because right now that's really rough, and I would really have a problem like setting her down, and I might want one of those shots where she can sit, but I think that's an easy modification that won't hurt the figure any. I'm not seeing too big on her pose. Her posability is a little limited, but like I said, I've come to almost expect that from some NECA stuff, so I don't think it's like breaking my heart. Do we have... We kind of have a swivel. Okay. There. I think that's about right in terms of her standing. She has multiple hands. I mean, they're nothing that's going to blow your mind. They're gripping hands of different angles and abilities. And each one of these is played out for a different thing. So, like, we have the hammer. We have the nail gun. We have... This looks like a machete. It's not. It's, in case somebody hasn't seen the movie, it's one of those, like when you, like in an office where you cut the paper, or like, schools used to have this too, where you'd line the paper up and you pull that down or whatever. That's what this actually is. And then, of course, you have a bloody version of it, which is pretty cool. It also feels... I'm going to say it feels better than the machete I got with my Jason. Maybe the Jason was a little newer in the line, and that's the reason I've had the problems that I've had with it. I can't say one way or another. Here is the screwdriver that literally killed her. And so we have the damaged head, which is actually really, really cool. Like, it's really nasty. It's cool. I like it a lot. We have this annoyed head, which is really great. I love this. This one I like a lot. We have the regular head, which is kind of just like a cutesy, like a, just like, there's something very creepy about Megan without her having to try. She kind of looks, she looks lifeless, but somehow innocent and yet terrifying. I mean, they hit a perfect balance with the face design here when they did this. Also, we have the head specifically for when the hair's off and everything like that, and she doesn't have the face. And then she has two different faces that go into that. So each one of these faces kind of clips on. So we got this one, and then we have the other face, which is right here, that also clips on, and it's the more damaged one. And that is everything that we get with her. And then, of course, we have where you can literally, I bet you could, couldn't you? Can you stick that in? You can. Look at that. That's awesome. That's awesome. I love it. How do I put this? I am a lot more forgiving at $10. Okay? That's the truth of it. I don't even know that I'm being fair. I feel like maybe had I paid $40 for this, I would have had complaints. I'll be perfectly honest. I probably would have had complaints at $40. Like, she doesn't really T-pose. I've got to give it to NECA. Her hair is not in the way. That's good. Because we know, after buying Marvel Legend after Marvel Legend after Marvel Legend, with just the plastic hair, their hair is in the way. Like, that's not going to happen with her. She seems the right size. This is very well done. But also stiff. Talking about single jointed knees, single jointed elbows. She doesn't really T-pose. Like, that's it. Like, I'm not wanting to force it any more than that, because I've already seen what forcing some of the other figures have done. But, like, that this is it. So we don't even got a full T-pose on this figure, which makes me wonder how some scenes and whatnot I can even play out. But I think that it's going to be okay. I think that at the price that I got this at, and the small modification that I have to make in order to get her to be able to sit down and whatnot, is not too much to ask. At $40, I probably would have complained, but I may have still been fairly satisfied. Like, I wouldn't have liked it as much, but at $10, this is fantastic. This goes right on my movie shelf, and I will love the fact that it will be on my movie shelf. No problem. Very, very good at the price that I paid, for sure. Let's see. I liked Megan a lot. I thought it was cool. I haven't seen Megan 2.0, but some are mixed on it because it was no longer a horror movie anymore. Yeah, but neither was Terminator. Neither was Alien. Like, that's the format they're following. And if you want to keep that character around and have it make sense, that they, like, it's not like a Chucky thing where the doll company just keeps remaking. They can't avoid the scandal of what happened. It's media news, unlike in the 80s where the toy company just rebuilds Chucky because it doesn't matter, and they can easily get away with, like, making the kid look bad. They can't make that kid look bad, or the former employee necessarily. It's not going to work the same way. And the story that they lay down does make sense. And just to put it out there, Megan is not like a completely reformed good guy. There's still a lot of growth needed in that, if ever they need. And yes, I absolutely was. Just saw the Biker Mice from Mars figures at Walmart for $20. That's down from $40. I'm actually seeing a lot of things hit the clearance or sale. Oops. Okay, let's do or no, I've already done that. Oh, yes. Let's do those. Okay. Did I see the Krang Universal Monsters crossover? I did not. I don't know what that looks like yet. In fact, I was unaware that it was a thing until you just told me just now. So, no, I'll have to look at that. Like, I saw the Shredder. I knew exactly what you were talking about with that one. There was some interesting stuff from the Dan and Dwight's interviews. Seems like the reception to Marvel vs. Capcom stuff has been overwhelming. Dan wants to do Iceman, Doctor Doom, etc. And Iceman would be cool. Give us the ice effect. Like, that's one of the things that Iceman is absolutely known for. Like, let it go, you know what I mean? Like, just give us the ice effect where he's, like, on the board of ice. That's so cool. We need that. Megan, that Megan isn't bad for $10. And you're right. It's the uncanny valley. Her face is realistic, but not really. It's that in-between which makes her cute, but unsettling as well. Yeah, it works. Absolutely. I'm here for the punch and pie. Oh. What are we at? Hold on. We are currently at 5 viewers. We are at 4 votes. Super 7 is currently winning. Got Majeda Vega today. Another banger from June. And okay, really? You already got Vega. That's wild. I just got Blanca this morning. Like today. Like showed up around noon. I got the notice on my phone. Hey, we've delivered a thing. Like, and you've already got Vega. Wow. It's crazy to me how shipping like works sometimes. Like, because I'll bet you I'm 2 months away from Vega. I'll bet you. There's almost no doubt in my mind I'm going to be like 2 months away from Vega. So far, Super 7 is winning. We are at, well, okay, so we're at 4 viewers now. So we've dropped back down to 4. And there's 4 votes. So, oh, wait. We just went up to 5. See, YouTube is so weird to me. Like, now it says there's only 4 people even watching. But we have 5 votes. Like, I never quite can trust YouTube. Like, we've even had times where we've had like 15 votes. Like, on this show, we've had like 15 votes come in. And then it tell me that we only have like 6 people watching. And I'm like, then what is happening? Like, I can never tell realistically how many people are on the stream or watching until like it's done realistically. Ordered him on Amazon. Said Saturday, showed up today. Okay. Yeah, I have him pre-ordered still. And it is taking its sweet time. I'm positive I'm going to be 2 months behind. Right now, because of what's going on, that's fine. Right now, I can wait. I still don't love the idea, but with everything that's happening, I can wait. I can sit on my money. Been absolutely having a blast with my Psylocke. Unless that Emma Frost blows me away, Psylocke may end up having my best Marvel Legends articulated female body of the year. I can't imagine that Emma Frost doing that. I imagine that cape is in her way, and I have a feeling she balances bad. I put in. I got one. I did. But that doesn't stop where my mind goes with it. So I don't think she moves well. I think her entire torso, I think all of it, literally is one block, one unmovable block. Because she has the corset, she has nothing here that splits the seams, so she has no upper rotation, and she has no lower torso movement. Now, you could argue, and I would not argue against you, that might make sense for Emma, White Queen version, having the corset and everything. She's not moving all over the place. So for once, I'm going to let it go. The faces look terrific. The 2 different faces that we got for that Emma, fantastic. But her legs, they gave her the hard heels. Those heels are rough on action figures. They're rough. She's going to have a very, very, very hard time moving. Okay, so the corset is soft. I was unaware of this. That's good information that you have that I didn't have. Thank you for that. No, that changes part of my aspect. Thank you for that. So, there's some rotation. The corset is a softer rubber, which is kind of cool because it's going over her bend. That's kind of cool. It's almost realistic. She puts the corset on. It restricts her movement, but her movement is still there. She's still a person, right? Okay, that's fine. I don't think we're going to get anything in the lower ab. I think it's all going to be the upper crunch like we normally get with these figures. They gave her the hard heels. She's going to be top heavy because of that cape. And those heels, they make it very hard to stand a character like Emma Frost. Just like Madeline Pryor. So there are times that I almost prefer the illusion of the heels and just fill in all that plastic. Because it gives her a base for her foot to sit flat. Sometimes I honestly prefer that. Now with her, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. If that cape is not removable, if that cape does not easily come off and not damage the figure, that's important. That's very important. Because the last Emma we got, if you took it off, you would damage the figure. It was like glued all in here. And you would have to like Dremel it and kind of repaint it and make it perfect, and then like basically put another cape on and glue it perfectly right there so you could hide the damage that was caused by taking the cape off. And the other part of the cape around the back like plugged into her back, which means she had that stupid hole in her back, which she doesn't need. This figure hopefully has no hole in the back and the cape is not glued. Let that cape, in fact, I can't prove this because we were just talking about how the images are not perfect with these things. The cape does not seem to be solid to her body. In a couple of the images, it seems like it's turned this way a little bit. In a couple of the images, it seems like it might be turned this way a little bit. In a couple of the images, she's lifting her hand, and it feels like the cape has moved up a bit, and then her arms are down, and it feels like the cape is kind of low. If that is the case, then the cape is not glued in place. We could just take the head off, remove the cape, and then we can custom a cape or just not worry about the cape at all. That'll be our choice. We could say, I don't even care about the cape. I'm just going to take it off and have the White Queen without the cape, and that's fine. Or we could take the cape off and replace it with something that we make or have made, and she will be basically the Emma we have waited for. Because she looks great. Her face looks perfect. Her hair looks fantastic. The body design looks fantastic. That Emma has me at high hopes. But all of it borders on that cape. If that cape does not come off, she's trash. She's something you could work on and probably make work, but she's trash. Because the last Emma, we did this, and it did not work well. Her arms could only do this. Remember this? Like, I'm Emma Frost. Like, that was terrible. I couldn't get any decent poses from her. I couldn't make her stand up properly. I had to buy, like, a specific stand. At first, I bought those little circle pegs to, like, extend the length of her footfall so that it would, like, give her more surface area. That didn't work. because her legs, because of the way that her ankles were and whatnot, she was top heavy. She would still kind of fall to one side or the other. And then I finally got her to stand up, but I got her to stand by creating like a complete flat square base, almost like a G.I. Joe stand. I got her to stand on one of those. But then, of course, she had zero posability, so she always just like stood next to Cyclops, which did nothing for me. And it honestly bothered me. We are at 10 minutes. We are at Super 7 and Marvel Legends. And they are tied. We need one of these to up. So, okay. Looks like a vote just came in and it spurred us towards Marvel Legends. Okay. All right. Gotta be honest. I was kind of crossing my fingers hard on those Super 7 this time. I never owned the Astonishing X-Men Emma, but man, I've heard how bad she is articulation-wise. Yeah, she's awful. Also recently got the In Art 1/12 Bale Batman. Oh boy, that thing is a game changer. Oh, I know what figure you're talking about. That looks good. That looks good. Okay, well, so let's see. Here we go. So we have or we could do there we go. I'm gonna have to come up with a system. I don't know yet, but right now the show is 100% vote. I might have to open up something where every so many figures that we open, I get like an opener's choice, because some people like what they like. They come here for Marvel Legends, they come here for DC Direct, and like the DC or Marvel will steal the whole show. That's fine. I actually don't have a problem with that. But every now and then, there's like a figure that sits to the side that I personally would really like to open, but I'm trying not to break the rules of the system that I currently have running. Like, because like, I have the Horde pack. Like, that's something that I wouldn't mind seeing opened, like, specific. And then I have things like the Norseman. The Norseman is really cool, but that's never won a single vote, like, ever. Anytime that we've reviewed them, every time that we've put them up, they don't win. I have a Figma that's sat around for a long time that's a Bruce Lee. He's made it onto the board 6 different times, but he never gets chosen. He just kind of gets mentioned. Hey, there's a Figma. And then people go, oh, I didn't know you collected Figma. And then they vote for DC. Don't worry, Bill. I voted for Super 7. I mean, I always also have the option to just kind of like every now and then, if I wait too long and I'm like, I'm not taking a chance that this doesn't get voted on. I'm just gonna do the video outright with the other camera and do the video. Being completely honest, there are 2 figures that if they don't get voted, they'll get opened that way. 100%, no question, they'll get opened that way. Because I have Conans coming, and they will not stay in box. They will be opened because they are Conan. It's just blatant. That's the way it is. We have 5. Let me check. Rough estimate. Rough estimate right now says that we are at 5 viewers. And as those 5 viewers, we have 5 votes. So if that's true, we're going to give it a little bit of time. So far, Psylocke and Thanos 2-pack has won, which is fine, because that looks like a fantastic figure. Close my eyes and just click on something. I just enjoy the content. Well, that's not a bad thing either. But I do know there are certain people, they come here for certain things. Like I know sometimes I get it right in the chat. They say right off the bat, they come in and they go, I'm here for that DC. And that's fine. We have reaccumulated a couple of DC. I think we have 3. Is it 3? We may have 4. 3. There's 3 DC back in rotation, actually, for the votes. I have a bunch of figures I haven't opened yet, but that is because I don't have the shelf space yet. I get that. But that's another thing, too. And I don't know if I'm going to do this live or if I'm going to do it. I'm thinking about doing it in shorts. Just like some content to post here and there while I'm keeping things moving. The next main project is to tear apart the DC shelf. All of it. Because we need to start discussing what has accumulated, what stays, what makes sense, what has grown on me, what has kind of died on me, and what absolutely does not belong on the DC shelf. Like fire. Fire does not belong on the DC shelf because she's trash. She is so bad of a figure that my kid saw her on the shelf and was like, what is that? And I was like, that's fire. And she goes, she sucks. Like, I was like, oh shit. What's your thoughts on the crowdfunding Batmobile by Todd? Do you think it's too expensive or worth it? Are you talking about this Batman v Superman one that I saw? Is that the Batmobile you're talking about? Yeah, it is. It almost has to be. I was curious because I thought that I'd seen this and I didn't know 100% for sure. And I was kind of fighting with myself about it. Like level 1 is just the Batmobile. Level 2 is like, is it 2 versions of the Batmobile or whatever? And then level 3 comes with, includes parts to make the Justice League Batmobile. Yeah, it's the second version. So then, and then number 3 would be it gives us the parts to make the it gives us the bat signal, and then level 4 gives us grayscale variants of all 3 figures, which is stupid. I'm not a fan of this. I don't like the grayscale figures, the figures that we've already gotten that he just did in black and white. I'm not a fan of that. I don't think they look good, in all honesty. I'm not a huge fan of that Batmobile. I mean, I like it fine, but I'm not a huge fan. The bat signal would be cool. I'm sure if he sold that alone, people would probably buy it. But overall, that crowdfund, who knows? People will buy what they want. I will be very surprised. I guess there's still a lot of Snyder guys out there, aren't there? I'll be shocked. I will not put $1 towards it. just plain and simple. But I feel like even though there's a lot of people that will probably like it, because there's still a lot of people that are like Screaming Snyderverse and stuff like that. There's still a lot of people that very much prefer that. I would be surprised if that funds all the way. I would be shocked to see it get multiple levels. Maybe it funds. If it goes all the way, I would be shocked. On the poll pick, you should add an option that says Bill's choice. That probably wouldn't be the worst idea ever, actually. You just mentioned that. That's not a bad idea, actually, every so often. Yeah. Let's see. I'm not a big fan of the Batmobile. Of the Batmobiles that stray closer to being a tank than a car. I can understand that. Like, I'm kind of the same way. Even though it makes sense. Even though it does make sense to me that, like, to see the stuff that his car supposedly can do and has survived, it would almost have to be built like that. But in my fantasy, I just want it to be a really cool car. Like, that's what I want it to be. Okay, we're going to call it Psylocke 1. I'm not necessarily shocked. I know a lot of this Gamerverse stuff is probably going to hit hard in the poll. But I also kind of think that the Fantastic Four right now, because it is a current movie and a lot of people are kind of debating whether or not they want the MCU figures, I'm kind of see those hitting well. There's a lot of Marvel Legends right now that we have sitting that'll probably be good votes, is what I'm saying. This is going to be something. You know, the Super 7, we added 2 Super 7 to the show. And I haven't been able... That's another thing, too. I really got to remind myself that every time we pick up something new, I need to do one of the shorts so that I could say, hey, this is being added to the show, so that when people do come in to vote, they have an idea. Because otherwise, I just say, hey, Super 7, and you don't know. You don't know if I'm a Turtles guy. You don't know if I'm trying to open up, like Thundercats or something like that. You might not have any idea what my Super 7 is. But, for what it's worth, 2 Super 7 arrived today. This is King Cole. Yes. King Cole. There he is. So he's been added to the show. That is amazing. And, of course, comic book version Conan the Barbarian. So, there he is. So, right there, guys, that's what was added to the shelf for Super 7. And the Conan, I am arguing with myself pretty hard about what point in the story this is. And I know some people are going to tell me it's the image on the back. It's not. It's not the image on the back. And the reason I can tell you that it's not, even though it's close, his hair is not right for that version yet. His hair is still shorter. Which means the one on the front is more than likely correct, and the one on the back is a really good image that they found. I see the necklace. So this is around the time that he's still wearing the necklace, which would make him younger. Hard for me to say. He could just very well be an amalgamation Conan as well, where they just kind of took a bunch of different eras that they thought worked really well and made the best version of the character that they could and slapped an ultimate label on it. That's not exactly a bad thing either, and then I'm probably trying to place something that doesn't really have a place. That's very possible. There we go. you never really know. Hey, what's going on? So, let's do it. I only have so much time. This is going to be the last one of the night, so Gamerverse, Psylocke, Thanos, 2-pack, there it is. Let's do this. This is something I needed. First off, I loved Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I played Marvel vs. Capcom 2 so much. Like, so very, very much. I had this is going to sound wild, I had a dedicated television for Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I know, that sounds crazy. It's not a joke. It really happened. So, years ago, my dad had a big screen TV. It was very big. And just so everybody understands, I'm 41. When I tell you that my dad had a big screen TV, it's not like today when you had a big screen TV. My dad had one of those big monsters that took 2 or 3 men to carry. Like, it was big. Okay? It was big. One person did not move it alone. I very blatantly remember trying to pick it up by myself at one time, and like I could get it off the ground, but I couldn't get it hoisted up to a position where I could get it like on a flat surface. And you couldn't just set the TV on anything because it was heavy, like to the point where it would break something that it was on. It was a big screen TV. So, one night, don't remember exactly what happened, just my dad came home, turned the TV on, it was broken. He was like, "Oh, damn it, TV." And I'm like, "What happened?" "I don't know what happened." He's down there trying to fix it, kind of slapping the side of it, trying to figure out, going through his options and everything. And he's like, "Well, that's it. It's done." I get to looking at this TV. And I'm like, "Is that all that's wrong with it?" And he's like, "Yeah, but it's enough that I'm not going to deal with it." I'm like, "What are you going to do with that TV?" "Well, I don't know what to do with it right now. Probably throw it away. There's nothing else you could do with it." And I was like, "What if I could do something with it?" "Whatever." Great. So I take it, and I take it downstairs. Now, what had went wrong with the TV is somehow the sides screwed up, and what used to be a square now had these bows, right? So like this, where it connected at the bottom and at the top, but there was like a sea-level bow that kind of went in. And oddly enough, there were a lot of arcade cabinets that just actually kind of did that. And it got me thinking, I have an extra PlayStation 2. So I took a PlayStation 2, I took that thing downstairs, I got a little table and everything for it. I put that on top. I put the PlayStation 2 under it. I put Marvel vs. Capcom 2 into that PlayStation. I put it in the PlayStation. I hit the button. I connected 2 fighting sticks, so like actually like this, to it. And then I basically had a makeshift arcade cabinet in the corner of the basement, specifically for Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And it was like that for a couple of months before then I started testing other games. Would King of Fighters be too... because you had to be careful. If you put a game in, that bow was a bit of a problem. It didn't hurt Marvel vs. Capcom 2, like, at all. We just did just fine with it. But there were other games you would put in that were fighting games that, like, couldn't handle that level of bow. It would really screw up the game and, like, make the game feel like it didn't work. Yeah, And that TV still hung around for like a year and a half before we actually got rid of it. So I basically had a makeshift arcade cabinet for Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I loved this game. And to see these packs coming out, and to see them selling the way they are, and to see the amount of effort that's being put into these, just floors me. I mean, it really does. It feels special. Like, think about it. Think about how every single one of these figures from this current Gamerverse line that seems to be coming out is getting like prime attention. Maybe not to you, but it certainly feels like it to me, because this has got to be the best Psylocke they have ever released. Like, I haven't even touched her yet, and I could look right at her and tell you that's got to be the best one. That right there, that is the way that my mind pictures Thanos all the time. Literally all the time, without fail. When my mind plays an image of him, anytime I think about him, it is this. It is this figure. This was perfect for me. It absolutely spoke to me. I don't have a Psylocke yet. I want one. Best possible option. I don't have a Thanos yet. I want one. Best possible option. Best possible 2-pack. But you know, it's unbelievable that it's not just this pack. It's all of them that have been impressive. I don't know that we've seen a bad figure, and this is all speculation. This is the first one I've even held in my greedy hands. But I don't think we've seen a bad figure from this line yet. This line came out swinging hard. Everything I've seen from it looks like something I want, and something that's been done well, and something that stands out. Like, it's not just Wolverine. It's a new Wolverine with some new gimmicks. It's not just Psylocke. It's Psylocke in the best possible body from the game that we played. It's not just the same Thanos that they were already selling. It's this one with the horns. It's this one. Dude, it's so good. And I'm seeing figure after figure right now from this concept that's just blowing me away. It's also kind of making me call into question something else. But I'm wondering if that's for a topic video to discuss later. Because I can't help but look at this line, the Gamerverse line, that's releasing figures at $60 for like 2 really good figures. And then my eyes kind of wander back to a certain Spider-Man and a certain Hulk, and they go, hold on. If you can release some of the best figures in the history of Marvel Legends together for that price, what is justifying? Feels like it's an argument we could have, not one that I want to get negative about, but one that might need to be called into question now that it feels like in one single wave, Gamerverse has absolutely stomped anything Maximum was doing. Maximum said, here's 2 good figures. Gamerverse said, Here's all good figures. Go, have fun. Go ahead. There you go. Like, it brings into question where the thought process is with Marvel Legends, how they decide a price point and an amount of quality and or so. It does make me wonder. Let's wonder more and open this. Okay, so let's do this. Let's start here. Simple. There he is. Thanos. Look at that. Look at his face, man. Holy crap, that is good. That is so good. Dude, the paint on this guy is honestly exceptional. Decent range here. Can't really look down. He doesn't brood. The horns are a nice material, so they don't like stab you really, and they don't get in the way of anything. Terrible range of motion. Terrible range of motion. But that seems to be okay. That seems to be okay. He's a big, big dude, so we kind of let certain things go. The range of motion in his arms is terrible. I mean, it's truly bad. Look at this. I'm trying here. That's all we got. That's all we got. Ooh. Oh my. Yeah, that is terrible range of motion. His legs, not as hindering. He's got decent feet and everything like that. This doesn't really hinder him. It's not in his way. So that's kind of good right there. And then, of course, for what it's worth, they included this. So we have the snap. I could complain about this guy. Right now, he fills a spot on the shelf that is a major quota spot. I've wanted a Thanos for a while. I don't own one. Now I do. He's right here. That's perfect. He is the one that I wanted. He's the design that I wanted. He's what I grew up with. He's how I see him. That's my visual perception. It works for me. His articulation could have been better. He is the weaker part of this pack, without a doubt. Like, it is beyond contestation. This is the weakest part of this 2-pack. Still cool. I'm still under the impression that I'll get something out of him. I'll be able to move him around and fight him and do things like that. But his range of motion is really bad. Maybe it's these. Maybe these, even for the sake of argument, should have been a little further up, even though it wouldn't have been 100% accurate, and maybe it would have made his arms seem long. But, like, that is, the range of motion on this guy's arm is unbelievably a joke. Watch this. We're done. That's all you can do. That's it. We're done. You can kind of get something like this by turning him, like where you kind of, it's bad. It is a terrible, terrible, terrible range of motion, and he has no butterflies. So, like, you're going to be relying all on his hip movements and stuff like that to, like, have him land punches and make like, you know, like he's standing certain ways or anything like that. You're lucky that he has a lot of, he rotates, so he's going to have to throw them hooks, but he can't even get like an actual good hook because, like, he can't do that. But that's him. That's him. So, her. Wow, this is impressive. Is the hair? No, they still are not learning their lesson with the hair. It's not the worst hair we've ever seen, but it is in the way. So it kind of got, like, she has a decent range of motion, but it's noticeable that it's not, you see what I'm getting at? It's going to be in her way for the most part. Otherwise, I'm not experiencing drop-down hips. I don't think we've got that going on. No, they're not really. But we have that lower ab movement. We have all that upper articulation. We have good heavy butterflies back and forward. She's got a nice, I mean, it is what it is. She's got a nice body design. She's got thick legs. That's good because in the game, she actually did, if you remember. That's actually cool. She does not have... Oh, never mind. That's impressive. This line is cut so perfect by the lines that she wears, by the straps that she wears, that it actually hides her thigh swivel perfectly. Like, I didn't even think it was there. It's done so well. She, of course, has the double knees, but she has the thick thighs, and she also has these powerful calves, so she cannot kick her own butt, though, for what it's worth, she's got it. I'm liking the arms. I'm seeing same thing here. They hide, by using the straps, they hide that movement right there. There's a lot of movement in her. She is magnificent. She also, for what it's worth, has this extra face, which I believe is primary for her power set. So it goes on, and then she gets this, which is like kind of a wild, like, sunglasses type of thing that she can kind of do. Goes over here onto her ear. I'm sure. I've probably got to play with it a bit. I'm having trouble with it, but I'm kind of getting the effect. You see what it does? I'm having a little bit of trouble with it. It seems like it kind of wants to move around and whatnot, but I'm sure that once I figure out the exact perfect placement for it and whatnot, it will work just fine. She does have the 2 pointer fingers, which are actually cool. I like these. And she has the expression hand, which is also really good. She came with her swords. This is really cool. I believe this is for the pointing hand, because I think they got like a thing right here, so I'm just gonna, for the sake of argument, so that I guaranteedly test this out, is, I think, where was it? There it is. I think this goes like this. I think her hand literally slips in there and it holds. So then you could do effects like you can have one on each hand, and you could do, there it is. Yeah, I think, because like you could put it on the hands and whatnot, and then you can have her where she's doing like things like that and whatnot. That's pretty cool. This is good. Like, this is crazy good. Now, this is the only piece that I'm having a little bit of trouble with. Everything else seems absolutely spot on. I'm not having any real problems with it. I'm not having any real troubles. Like, I love the fact that she's got that blade. I mean, I love the fact that she's got that blade. That is so cool. I would have preferred two of these alongside two of these, but that's fine. I don't care if I get the one. That's fine too. Otherwise, she's easily going to be able to hit fighting poses and whatnot. Maybe a toe articulation, but come on. At this point, I'm splitting hairs because what we have here is unbelievably good. The only thing I'm having trouble with, as I said, is these. And the reason is because, like, I have a Baroness that wears glasses. This has one long and one short. So it seems like, and maybe I can move the hair and get it. Yeah, it's a little tough. I'm pretty sure it is specifically for this head. And I'm pretty sure it goes back like this, and it goes into there. And then the other part goes here, and it connects, and it goes up. I got it to work once. This is a little tough. This is first impression as well. So keep that in mind. My channel does not review things. It doesn't work that way. These are very much, every single one of these are podcasts. We open the figures, we get a first impression. Either I love a thing, I like a thing, I hate a thing. Sometimes that's the way. And sometimes I get confused by a thing. And it takes me after the show kind of playing around with it to get the gist of it. I could probably sit here for the next 4 or 5 minutes and I could figure out exactly how this is supposed to go perfectly. And it probably wouldn't bother me at all. I could probably figure it out. Do I want to sit here and do that right now? No. And I'm more than happy with what I'm seeing here. Even if I never got that face effect to work, which I'm positive I will, because I already got it to work once while I was just kind of messing with it, but then I put it down and I'm going to have to figure it out again. I don't think I would be worried about it. She is so good by herself. I would never worry about it. Both her faces are good. She has the angry face with the powerful expression here and everything. She really looks fierce, like she really looks good. And then she has kind of a stern, serious face about her, which also looks really good. Like, the face is good, the body is good. It is a new, updated figure. Every female in the line should be using a variant of this buck by now. Every single one. We got, so far, we have Black Widow on the new buck. We have a Jean Grey on the new buck. We have a Psylocke on the new buck. We should have way more. There's no reason we shouldn't have basically every girl coming out past this point should be on the new bucks. That it should become a standard. We should be done with where we only get this top and then all of this is one single part. This is the way they should all be. They should all have this level to where they can bend down, to where they can look up, to where they can move around. That this is what they should be, every single one of them. And I don't care even for the argument of well, some characters, they don't, some characters aren't designed to be like that or whatever. They're not flexible like that, or they're not ninjas or whatever. I don't care. At this point, we should be moving the line forward, not one step forward, 2 steps back, or 2 steps forward, 1 step back, where we're moving forward, but we keep pulling it back, and then we move forward. Stop it. Like, there's no reason. At this point, there should be no reason. If you could produce her, and you could do Jean Grey, and you could do Black Widow, there's nothing stopping you but you. You are the reason you are not doing it. And you are the only reason you are not doing it. And just so you know, Marvel Legends, as if Marvel Legends watches my show, just so you know, you have competitors now. Real competitors. Competitors that are watching, competitors that are pushing, competitors that are maintaining a price rate that is going to give you trouble. You can no longer be content. What you have done with Gamerverse needs to become an absolute standard of quality for your entire line, or you will fall. You can no longer be complacent in the fact that you are the best. You are at the top. You for years you were the go-to because you were accessible, you were cheap, there was a guaranteed, you kept your stuff at a low price point with high quality. There was always something new to look forward to, and and it was a progressive line that kept moving forward and getting better. Then you found out you had no competitors, especially at your price range. Now, you want a different Spider-Man? Spider-Man's over there. Go ahead. Pay $90 for that Spider-Man. We'll just be over here improving Spider-Man. Every single figure. You got away with that for a very long time. I don't think you could play that game anymore. I think if you don't start making leeway soon, like, you have to maintain this quality. You've shown you can do it. If you fall back from this point, you will die as a brand. I'm positive of it. There are choices now. There are choices. Complacency will only get you so far, Marvel. I say Marvel. Hasbro. Because, in all honesty, Hasbro, it's not just Marvel Legends. It's Star Wars, too. Star Wars, come on now. It's time to evolve. But you know what's really weird, Hasbro? Your G.I. Joe figures are phenomenal. What is happening? How can 2 other lines be coasting on success stories and one line is pushing the line? Like, G.I. Joe is making waves, man. They're like, oh, hold on, back up. Check this out. And then Hasbro's over here like, oh, we got it. Here's a cool figure. And you're like, that? I can't help but notice that Spider-Woman doesn't move very well. Or that X-23 is still using the female Buck from a decade ago. And they're like, oh, I mean, it still works. Your Gwen Stacy, your Spider-Gwen can't do swing effects because their body doesn't move in a way that makes it look like they can do swing effects. You don't think that's a problem, that it's time to update the Bucks? Because I think it is. It's weird to me. It doesn't make sense. This is proof you can do it. Start doing it. Let me hit these comments, and I gotta get out of here. Hey, what's going on? Is there a big reason they paired them together? Is there a big reason they paired them together? I'm not as up on my Marvel or Marvel vs. Capcom lore as I am on my DC. If I had to assume why they would have paired these two together, it's because had you released this guy alone and I just showed you the level of articulation that this guy has, he'd have been in trouble. Like, he looks great. You better be real good with your posing, and the other character that he's up against is really going to have to sell it for him, because his arms don't move for nothing. While she's unbelievable. I remember them mostly from Marvel superheroes, but remember them from Marvel vs. Capcom 2. For what it's worth, and this is someone who really likes Maximum Hulk and Maximum Spider-Man, Gamerverse Wave came in clutch in redirecting collectors' attentions from the Maximum series. Yes, it did. Absolutely. It's the butterfly, the psychic attack she does in the game. I can't remember the name, but it's the one that she leaps into the air with her arms extended. Yes, yes, absolutely. That's what these specifically are, yes. Do I have a figure of Sugundi? Sugundi? No. No, I do not. Ugh! 2 hours in, finally wake up near 3 a.m. Surprised we got no coverage of the Hasbro Ecto at SDCC. Yeah, actually. Yeah, it's meant specifically for her angry head. I tried it on her neutral head, and it doesn't fit. Also surprised Jada didn't give us a release window for the P2 Cammy. That I'm in trouble with. I haven't bought a single player to anything, but like alternate colors with Cammy, you might get me on that. Cammy is still my favorite character from all of Street Fighter. Still my main even all these years later. I collect Transformers, and sometimes the articulation is annoying even though they have the excuse of needing to design the transformation. Yeah, I get that. And it's kind of one of those things where you're like, I know it has to transform, but like it can't move. And then that's kind of irritating. Yeah, I get that absolutely. I absolutely agree. Should be no excuse in using the older female bucks. It's time to upgrade all of the female bodies to this buck or make new ones. Yes, pill spitting facts. Will you kit bash WWE's Jesse Ventura with the jungle hat to make Sergeant Blaine? Doubtful. Because the chance that I would buy a WWE figure is incredibly low. I have very little of them, and only ones that I bought for very specific reasons. Not really a wrestling guy, never have been. Well, it's 10 o'clock. I got in here later than I normally would have. Like I said, I talked during the stream. There's a lot of stuff going on that's kind of taking my attention and time, but we got a Wednesday in the bag. We opened some figures. Not too many this time. We got a Thing that we opened. We got a Thanos that we opened. We got a Psylocke that we opened. And we got a Megan that we opened. Today's winner of the stream, she was the best thing I opened today. Like, without a doubt, she is magnificent. This figure is shockingly good. Like, this is great. I'm really hoping that anybody that hasn't had a chance to get her gets that chance, because she is unbelievably standout. All right, guys. I'm going to get out of here. Take it easy. And I will, of course, be breaking down all of these for chapters. I'm kind of working on that right now. Like I said, I'm about 3 weeks behind because of everything that's been going on. But I am finally starting to get back to my editing cues, and I'm starting to get my episodes out. And I've been kind of working in some topic videos too, because there's some things that I just need to talk about as we go. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Let's keep these votes going. For anybody that doesn't know, I'm trying to do these on Wednesdays. Hopefully I will be back next Wednesday. That's my overall goal, is to be in here next Wednesday and knock out some other figures. And I will be debating whether I open a couple figures on the side myself, or if I add a Bill's Choice to the list, or if I add something like every 5 figures open stream-wise gives me the choice to pick something. I don't know. I'll work on those details as I go. If you have a suggestion, put them in the comment section of this as it's a video, and then I'll be able to look at that and kind of work out suggestions and whatnot. Thanks for hanging out. I gotta go and get out of here later on.